What is up, YouTube? This is Dave coming at you with another video, and again, do it a little bit different tonight. What I want to do is check out some books. Now, I know after saying that, 75% of the people watching this video probably just turned it off, but for those who want to stick around, just going to talk about some books about my favorite hobby, obviously collecting sports memorabilia. First book I want to talk about is, this is great, The Card. Most people know this image. The famous T206 Honus Wagner. This book basically gives you the entire history of the famous T206 Honus Wagner, the Gretzky-McNall card, which is the most valuable card in the world. It basically gives you a good history on Wagner and his T206 card, and it also gives you a history of where this card came from. It just gives you a nice timeline. And also all the controversy, was it trimmed, is it all legit? This is definitely a hard one to put down, but if you're into sports memorabilia collecting, especially baseball cards, this is one you definitely want to own. Another one, this actually deals more with autographs than cards. It's called Autograph Hell. This is actually written by a collector, and there's actually a lot of great photos in here. This gentleman with a lot of great athletes from all different sports that he's met and had autographs signed. But this is kind of a bittersweet book. This is this gentleman actually got basically burned on a George Washington autograph. He was a big collector, got burned on an expensive autograph, and basically put everything he had into doing a lot of research on fake autographs. So it's definitely a good one to own if you don't want to get burned yourself. Obviously, if you're just starting in the hobby, this is one you probably want to pick up. Gives you a lot of good advice, and his catchphrase in here is basically, unless you see the guy sign it in person, you can never be 100%, which is obviously a very good point. So this is a good one as well. It's a pretty quick read as well. This one, I had actually mentioned this book in one of my last videos, Mint Condition. This is a great history of just baseball cards in general. The gentleman who wrote this book, Dave Jameson, appears to be around the same age as myself. And this book is basically just history of baseball cards from the 19th century all the way to the present. And they don't even just deal with baseball cards. He even deals with, for example, some of the like the Civil War cards from the 60s and the Mars Attacks cards and things like that. He also goes into like the bubblegum wars with Topps and Bowman and all that. A really great history from a guy like myself who, heard all these stories about his father's age of baseball cards and how much they were worth, and basically the cards he had when he was a kid that he held on to weren't worth much, and it gives you kind of a reason why. But this has, literally a complete history of baseball cards from their origins to cards to this day. It's a really good read. Any card collector would definitely enjoy this. This next one is I actually got this book. This is Brandon Steiner's You Gotta Have Balls. This book I actually got for free when I met Al Kaline at the Steiner store a couple years ago. They were giving this book away. Anybody who bought a ticket to meet Al Kaline got a copy of this book. It's ironic too, because I think like 2 days after I got this, I actually was sick. And I stayed home from work a couple days. I read this book in like 6 days. This is a great read. Now, this isn't that much about sports memorabilia. It's just a biography on Brandon Steiner. But it's a very inspirational book. I mean, I'm telling you, no joke, after I read this book, I felt like I can go out and create an empire. His kind of catchphrase in this book is, what else? No matter how good this guy was doing, he always said to himself, what else can I do to do better? I admire that, obviously, because at a lot of points he was at in his life, I'd be like, I'm good. But he always strived for more, and obviously he's the man who bought Yankee Stadium. But this is, like I said, they don't deal that much with sports memorabilia, but they kind of show you exactly how we got into it. But like I said, a very good book. It's very inspirational, actually. It really makes you want to, it gives you almost a drive to go out and try to do more. But definitely a good book for a collector to have. And the last one I wanted to talk about, which is the best one. I love this book, no joke. Operation Bullpen. I figure if you're a real serious collector, you've, if nothing else, heard of this book. This book is excellent. I loved every second of this book. Not only is this a great book as far as sports memorabilia, but this is like a great crime novel. It's like a true crime. You can't wait to find out what happens more. You know, what else happens? But basically, for anybody who doesn't know the story, now, you know, I'm trying not to give you too much information because I want you to go out and check it out for yourselves, and I don't want to ruin anything for you and slip up and, you know, give a spoiler alert on the book review. But basically, the way this starts out is a guy named Wayne Bray had a kind of inherited a sports memorabilia shop for his father. Wasn't really that into it, and business wasn't so great. You know, a lot of the stuff he had, people would say to him, "This is cool. If it was signed, it'd be even better." So this guy, Greg Marino, comes into a shop. His father was an artist, is an artist for that matter, so was he. He tried to sell some prints, some, you know, sports prints that, you know, his father had done. And Wayne Bray basically said to him, "You know, I'd love to buy these, but most of my customers want stuff signed." Greg Marino kind of went home, thought this over, and like I said, this guy's an artist, so he has a talent with the pen. And he started basically practicing Mickey Mantle autographs, just practicing nonstop. Actually said he would sit there, get high, put on some Bob Marley, and just practice. He started practicing the M's in the Mickey Mantle, and went back and said, you know, basically, what do you think of this? They put their heads together and they said, you know, with your drawing talent and my business connections, we can make something happen. Not really going to spoil anything else, but basically, they started a forgery ring that spanned across the country. And even though this book, most of the stuff we're going to talk in here takes place in the mid to late 90s, there are a lot of forgeries out there that are still out there. They'll talk about a lot of COAs in this book that they created basically for these forgeries. You will still see this stuff on eBay. So this is very educational, but it's such a great true story. Honestly, if they made a movie of this, I'd rush to the theater to see it. So excellent book. All right, so that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you get to, you know, if you're into reading and you're into collecting, these are some books to have. So I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you get to check some of these out, and I'll see you guys next time.